give you a little update on the first quarter of 2024, but also wanted to really jump in on this NAR settlement thing that I'm sure everyone has heard about. What's happening, everyone? It's Jeffrey here with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Colorado Properties, and Mountain Luxury Group. And I am coming to you guys up in Wild Ridge and Wildwood today to give you a little update on the first quarter of 2024, but also wanted to really jump in on this NAR settlement thing that I'm sure everyone has heard about. So I wanted to give you my cool synopsis on that and what to look forward to in the upcoming months as this settlement becomes an actual judgment, okay? So let's talk about the real estate market though first. In the first quarter of 2024, we have had 6 properties go to the closing table up in Wild Ridge. Pretty darn good, because in the same time period last year in 2023, there were only 3. So that's good stuff to see that the market is continuing to move well in our beautiful Wild Ridge and Wildwood community. And in the 6 that sold, that constituted about $10.6 million versus the 3 that sold the year before, just over $6 million. We're headed in the right direction, and I am going to predict that we are going to continue to head in the right direction. And the reason why is because low inventory is still going to reign here. And just because of low inventory, there's another factor that I think we have to figure in here that is going to continue to push the prices up on our properties up in Wild Ridge and Wildwood. And that is because we're going to see some reductions in our interest rates in the upcoming months going through the rest of 2024. Matter of fact, the Fed is saying that they're going to do it 3 times. And if that's the case, we are going to see buyers who have been sitting on the fence jump off that fence and get back into the buyer's market. Okay? That is my little synopsis. I think that your real estate is looking good, guys. And we are going to have a successful rest of 2024 as we go through the second, third, and fourth quarter. Now let's jump in and talk about the NAR settlement. So I'm sure everybody knows that the NAR has come to an agreement paying out 418 million buckaroos because they have said that the brokerages under the NAR, under the National Association of Realtors, have been artificially inflating commission prices here for decades and decades. Now, I don't necessarily think that's true. I think that it has always been a negotiated item. I also think that in negotiating listing prices, the seller has always been aware that half of the commission goes to the listing side and half of it goes to the buyer's agent's side. And it has always been a negotiated item, everybody. I've taken listings at 6%. I've taken them at 5%. I've also done a variable rate where I've agreed with the seller that if I bring the buyer to the transaction and it successfully closes, that it is even lower than 5%. Going forward, just know that I'm not certain that there are going to be a lot of changes as far as compensation goes. I think it's smart that a listing broker educate the seller on all the reasons why it is important to keep a buyer's agent paid for. And it's almost like an investment that the seller is making when they are paying the other side of the commission that we have done since the 1940s. The one great thing that is going to come out of this is the fact that there is going to be complete transparency. There is going to be clear cooperation moving forward. And why I say that is because buyer's agents are now going to be required to have a buyer sign a buyer agency agreement ahead of time. And that will negotiate the fee that is paid to the buyer's broker. And whether that says in the agreement that the buyer's broker is going to make every attempt to have the seller make a concession back in a seller's concession to the buyer's agent, or that the buyer is going to pay a certain fee, whether it is a percentage or a flat fee or a portion, and then the other half is going to come from, or a part of it is going to come from the listing side. There are going to be lots and lots of ways to skin the cat. But what is most important here, everybody, is that I think that we are going to see all of the dead weight of the buyer's brokers who are not competent, that are not providing value, that are not communicating correctly with their buyers. They're going to all go away. And what's going to be left are all the great brokers, all the ones who write awesome contracts, who communicate effectively, and who ultimately give you, the seller, the best chance at getting the highest net return on your real estate investment. And I think that is what is going to be very most important for you all to understand, is that yes, the rules are changing. Yes, we can't put a commission for the buyer's agent into the MLS anymore. That's okay. I think that's great. That shows that we're negotiating our own terms for the listing, and the buyer is negotiating their own terms with the buyer and how they are going to be paid. And at the end of the day, though, it's still going to work the same exact way. We don't want an attorney writing the contract for the buyer, because they're not going to do things like the walkthrough, making sure that all of the items that are in an inspection resolution are taken care of. They are not going to be the hands-on broker that we get when we have a great buyer's broker. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm trying to say it as cool as I can. And look, I got tons to say on it. I don't want to have a 20-minute video about this, though. I just want everybody to know that there are a lot of different ways to build in a commission, a fee, a way to get the buyer's agent fee paid for as well. Think about it if you're the buyer and you're having to reach into your pocket for a buyer agent's commission. It's always been done with the seller having a line item in the price of the home that basically will be going back into the buyer, that the buyer is paying for, that the buyer is financing or paying cash for at the end of the day, to achieve that goal of getting some money into the buyer agent's pocket, so they can then move forward to the closing table and everyone gets paid for their services. So there's my 2 cents on it. I hope you like what you heard. If you want, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you more about your real estate, what your goals are, more about what this upcoming settlement looks like. And they're talking about like a mid-July of when this is going to all take place. And who knows, maybe it's going to be later. It may be earlier too. So my name is Jeffrey Cloonan, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Colorado Properties, and Mountain Luxury Group. And I'd love to help you guys out and achieve your goals. Hope you're having a great day, and hope you had a wonderful Easter. I'm going to try to make a couple more turns on the mountain before I break out all the summer gear. So have a great day, everyone, and thank you very much for listening. Bye now.